Hello and welcome to Startline, brought to you by the Manx Motorcycle Club. I'm Beth Espy and this podcast is about everything road racing, both on the Isle of Man and further afield. From the races and the teams to the organisers and officials, it is all here on Startline. Well, welcome to the Startline podcast, where we go beyond the lap times and the result sheets and get to know the people who really do live and breathe this sport. And today's guest is one of road racing's rising names, a rider who's only 6 years into his racing career, but already proving he belongs in this conversation. At just 27 years old, Brandon Kavanagh from County Wexford is balancing a full-time job, late nights in the shed, and the relentless demands of racing, all while carving out his place on the mountain course here on the Isle of Man. He made his Manx Grand Prix debut last year, hitting his goal of 110 miles per hour. He's also part of the Roadhouse Macau Racing Team, not just as a rider, but as one of the hard-working hands behind the scenes. Let's meet him now.
Yeah, so my name is Brandon Kavanagh. I'm 27 from Bunclody in County Wexford in Ireland. Racing-wise, I made my debut at the Manx Grand Prix last year. And I'm only in my 6th year racing now, and I'm riding with the Roadhouse Macau Racing Team.
And it's not only riding for that team, you're also quite involved in the other side of things as well, aren't you?
Yeah, so basically I run around after Brian as well for the last, must be 10 to 12 years now. So no, it's good with all the lads and helping him out as well, and then he helps me out on his side then as well, so it's not too bad.
I always think, and I have said this to him, and I'm not the only one, that Brian McCormack does have a look about him of a Westlife singer. Are you a bit of a Westlife fan? Could you be in the band as well?
No, I'm definitely not really a Westlife fan anyway, and I definitely can't sing, so I don't think that would be a good idea.
So you said, Brandon, that you only sort of started racing about sort of 6 years ago or so. What started you off?
Yeah, so I'm riding bikes ever since I was a child, basically. I think the first time I rode a bike was at the Ulster Grand Prix, actually, in 2006. My dad had a little Chinese mini moto, and so basically I think that's how I learned. That's what I was told anyway. So, and then went from there, just got a PW50 like everybody else that is into bikes as a child kind of starts on. Obviously, my dad was into bikes since I'm very, very young, and my dad raced as well and still races as well. So that's kind of where it all started for me.
And what did your dad make of you wanting to do it then? Because some parents are a little bit funny about it. It's kind of okay for them, but there are inherent dangers with this sport, and sometimes they can be a little bit like, oh, please don't.
Yeah, well, look, he done it for years, like I said, and he's still doing it. So he can't really say anything when he was doing it. So look, he was right behind me, gave me help whenever he could or whatever, helps me out whenever he can. Is always helping me. To be honest, helped me build my first race bike. And yeah, he's always there. To be honest.
And obviously, I mean, talk about sort of building the bike. You are very hands-on when certainly talk about the Roadhouse team and whatever. You do the sort of mechanicking side of things of that. So are you the same with preparing your own machines?
Yeah, so I actually, when I turned 21, I actually bought a road bike from a friend who's actually on the team with Brian as well, Jim Halligan. I bought my first bike off him. It was only a road bike, and between me and my dad, mainly him, to be honest, because we could have a few arguments, just because things go my way or his way. But no, so we built that between the two of us, and that's kind of what got me racing cheaply, because we didn't have a lot of money, still don't have a lot of money. And as we know, the sport is dear, so just yeah, and even now prep all the bikes for Brian with the help of all the other lads as well. So yeah, definitely hands on.
And sort of like looking at how this whole thing fits into your day job, what do you do?
It's really boring, to be honest. I deliver like electrical appliances and stuff, nothing exciting, to be honest. But yeah, so work 8 to 5 and then come home every evening then, and mainly in the shed till late and getting bikes ready. And we've built a new bike for myself and with the Roadhouse team this year. So the last 3 months have been literally bed, work, shed, and repeat then. So it's been fairly busy.
And was this always the dream then? So when you sort of obviously had this interest in bikes and whatever, started racing, was coming over and racing over here on the Isle of Man always the plan?
I wouldn't actually say it was, to be honest, no. So like I said, my dad started racing, I think it was 2006 or 7. started short circuits over here, and then he went to road racing, national road racing. He done the Ulster Grand Prix a couple of times on his Super Twin. So just I was going around helping him, and then ended up helping Brian then as well. And myself and my dad actually went to the TT in 2016 for the first time, my first ever time over there. And then in 2017 on then till this year, and who knows when, I've been there helping Brian. So just being there and seeing the atmosphere and the way everything goes on, and especially the fact that you're by yourself on the road, and it's kind of you and the road, and what you do is up to yourself, to be honest.
I always think it's fascinating to think of that first time of you over here watching the TT, probably not even thinking at that point that that was going to be something that you do race on that mountain course, and what you would have thought at that point if you thought it was a possibility.
Yeah, well, I wasn't even racing back then as well, and didn't even know if I was going to be able to race, just with money and how expensive racing is, to be honest. Um, so yeah, kind of thinking back now, I don't know whether I thought I'd ever be able to do it or not, to be honest.
And so what were the sort of opportunities like around where you live in terms of getting to race courses and sort of progressing?
Yeah, so we're not too bad kind of where I am. We're only about an hour or so from Modelo Park. But then to go to the other two racetracks in Ireland up the north, it's 4.5 hours up the road. So I mainly raced in Mondello. Have done a bit up the north, but not as much in Mondello. So they run, I think, 6 or 7 meetings there a year in Mondello. But obviously we had our insurance issues for the last couple of years. So we were heading up north. And look, we won't complain. We still got to race our bikes and all, but it was just a little bit more effort.
And that's the thing, isn't it? I don't think you can underestimate just what a blow that was to anybody involved, certainly in your neck of the woods, because I mean, that's just huge, isn't it? Having that sort of taken away because of something that's beyond your control must be so frustrating.
Yeah, look, exactly. Like when I done my race assessment license in 2019, and then the following 2 years, or yeah, the following 2 years then were struck with COVID. So that was a halt to kind of my racing for them couple of years. We got one round done in 21, but then another lockdown came in then after that. So we were kind of held up again. Um, got a couple of good years racing then in 21, 22. And then 23, then we were struck then with the insurance issues, which didn't help anybody in the sport, and especially the younger people coming through. Not saying I'm young, but the younger people below me then, like I said, getting going, and then next of all, you're struck then, and you can't do anything for basically it was 2 years. We got out for one round, I think it was at the end of 21, and then we got another lockdown. So, but then we got going then in 21 and 22, we were racing, and then 23 then the insurance crisis then. So with no road racing or no short circuit racing in the south of Ireland, which didn't help me or any of the other lads, but also the younger people coming through into the sport, then it didn't help any of them come through and make their mark on the sport. So it was disappointing for everyone.
Was there any point where you just thought, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to give it up?
No, because I just started, so I just wanted to do it and see how I go, to be honest. And I think I surprised a couple of people, probably including myself, that I was actually fairly decent at. I know I definitely surprised my dad anyway, because I've never ridden a road bike or anything before either. So it was completely new and different to me.
Wow, that's amazing. So there must be something really brilliant about you sort of following your dream and doing what you want to do and actually finding not only is it something that you love doing, but actually you're pretty good at it as well.
Yeah, well, I'd say I'm decent. I wouldn't say I'm amazing now, but we try our best anyway. Um, just keep pushing on, keep learning little bit by little bit, and stay safe. And eventually, we should get somewhere. Hopefully,
I just keep talking about Brian, obviously, you know, somebody that you can learn an awful lot from with his experience. How did you two meet?
just from being around the paddock, to be honest. So obviously, I'm around the paddock since I'm a child, with my dad, helping my dad and whatever. And that time, Brian would have been winning Irish championships and up the front of the championships, and obviously being a kid, it was a big name in the paddock, like. And actually, I think he was stuck for a hand one Easter weekend going racing up the north, and I think I could have been 14 or 15, maybe a little bit younger, I'm not sure. And he texts me randomly, see would I go and give him a hand, and sure, of course, why not? So I went and gave him a hand, and I'm running around after him ever since, to be honest.
And what does it mean to you to be part of that team and have that support?
Yeah, look, it's a great platform to have with Brian's knowledge, with everything, to have the other lads around, all the other mechanics around then as well. It's definitely a great thing to have in the background, and not just the background, but to have beside you and help you along the way.
And what sort of advice was he giving you when you were setting out and when you decided that you wanted to do the Manx Grand Prix?
Basically, he was just steady and take it in and don't do anything silly. Just take it as it comes and just build lap by lap. I think he was probably more nervous standing on the start line than I was, to be honest. Um, but yeah, no, he was good. Done laps with him in the car, and just great simple pointers. Just not to hold on too tight. Just let everything flow and just don't be silly. To be honest.
How did you find the whole process of being a newcomer? Obviously, you have the weekends, you go out with the instructors. There's a lot of information that you're given that you have to take in. How did you find all of that?
Yeah, the newcomers weekends were great, to be honest. Milky and Johnny and the whole crew, they put in a good shift, and they help everyone out. I think it's a great thing because obviously years ago people didn't have YouTube and onboards and all to watch. Where now we have that, but also to put in laps in cars with people who know what they're talking about. Like Carolyn as well, done laps with her and loads of other instructors. It was really good where I had a little bit of experience going with Brian as well, where others don't really have that. But no, definitely the two newcomers weekends and the whole platform that they have there now is definitely a big bonus to any newcomer.
Of course, I mean, as you mentioned, you did have the experience of being there, but it's on a very different side. How did it compare to actually being there for yourself?
Well, look, I like being hands on as well. So two of the other lads, Ian and Colin, were there. My dad was there as well, and like Brian was there as well. But I still like doing little bits on the bike myself and stuff. Just it's something I'm used to. So kind of don't change routine when you're used to it. But no, I was fairly relaxed, to be honest. I didn't go with any expectations. I had a lap time in my head which I wanted to hit, like everyone would. But other than that, I just wanted to do lap by lap and learn. And just once I progressed every lap, then I was happy. And then with the weather, obviously, sure, we couldn't really complain, could we?
It was absolutely gorgeous, wasn't it? Did you hit the lap time you wanted?
Yeah, I did. So I had 110 mile an hour in my head and I done 110.9. So look, we had limited time on the bike. Obviously, Brian was riding the same bike at the TT and we didn't want to do too much on it before he went to the TT just in case. And then just after it, then we unfortunately actually had an engine let go on him in Armagh. So there was a big panic on, and massive thanks to Peter Hickman and PHR as well for getting us out out with an engine as well, getting us sorted. So I really appreciate that.
How did the people that you had with you, I mean, presumably your dad, did he come over for MGP?
Yeah, yeah. My dad was there. He came over with me for the whole 2.5 weeks or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. He didn't really say much, to be honest. I'd say he was nervous, all right, but he's always there to help anyway. He won't let on that he's nervous in front of me because just in case I got nervous then or whatever. But no, I'd say he was definitely nervous, but proud as well. I'd say.
And what are you like before a race then? Are you the sort of person who gets nervous? Do people have to avoid you a little bit?
Well, I'd say no, but a lot of other people probably say yeah, they'd have to avoid me, to be honest. I'm probably known to get a little bit cranky with nerves, all right. Um, but just it's not even nerves of like fear nerves. It's nerves of wanting to do well, and I'm really competitive. So if I'm not doing well, I don't not that I don't enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it as much. Then obviously when you're doing well and you're up there, you're enjoying it a lot more.
Are you the sort of person we should avoid playing board games with?
Probably, I'd say, yeah.
Do you cheat at Monopoly?
I actually don't even think I've ever played Monopoly, to be honest.
I'm not sure it's a game for you, to be honest, Brandon. So, I mean, as you mentioned, MGP, I mean, the weather was amazing. It was all a bit of a whirlwind, I guess. And it's one of those things that the first few days seem to go on forever. And then you just feel like, oh my God, it's over before you've even really had chance to even think about it. At what point did you think, oh, I want to come back? Or did you? Are you definitely going to come back this year?
Yeah, so like I said, we were really, really lucky with the weather, and like I'm good friends with Keevan Kenny, who obviously he won the Manx Grand Prix. So um, he was saying that they only got like 6 or 7 laps in 2024 when they done the newcomers or his first year. So I think I done 4 laps on the first day, And to be honest, just after the 4 laps, I just built in, and just the feeling of being by yourself on the road, and you kind of feel more secure because there's not really there's not 20 bikes around you, you know. So yeah, no, definitely the plan is to go back again this year, with the Roadhouse Macau team again on a new bike and try progress and go a lot faster.
We're obviously just talking as the season's really got underway. Have you done anything so far? Have you got anything coming up?
Yeah, so I done the first round of the Mondello Masters, in Mondello at the start of April. It was it was a test on the new bike. I hadn't ridden it before that weekend, just with things coming late and getting it together. So we done that. The weather was a bit iffy. And then not the weekend gone, the weekend before, we were at the Cookstown 100 and actually ended up winning the senior sport race, which was good, first road race win. Just finally getting comfortable on the roads and starting to ride like I know I can ride the bike as well.
Well, that's amazing, Brandon. And at what point did you know that it was in the bag for you?
I got a really good start, and James Walsh, I'm actually really good friends with, he was on pole, and I got in the lead in the first corner, and I think it was a second of a lead then after the first lap, and just read my pit board. My dad was doing the pit board, and I said it to him. I said, "Give me exact gaps if I'm ahead," and I just read the pit board then and didn't do anything silly. Just rode around and kept the gap. So no, I was really happy with that.
And when it comes to trophies and whatever, do you keep them somewhere special?
Yeah, so there's a few trophies lying around, all right. Some of the bigger ones, the second and third place ones are kind of put away out of the way, so they're not catching dust. But no, the kind of second, I have two second place championship trophies from the Mondello Masters, them and the first road race win now trophy. That's up on the mantelpiece. So
Then looking ahead, I mean, obviously we're a little way off MGP yet, but it'll be here before we know it. But presumably you're going to be over here for TT helping out the Roadhouse team.
yeah, so I fly out the Sunday before practice starts on the Monday. So I'll fly over straight into work clothes and be down crawling around the ground working on Brian's bikes as well. So we have a couple of busy weeks now, getting bikes prepped and stuff ready. So we don't have as much to do when we get there. So we're putting in a lot of work, and hopefully now, obviously with David Datzer as well. So we have a two-rider team, and which means more bikes and more hardship. I don't know, but more fun anyway, and it'll definitely be enjoyable.
Yeah, what is the paddock life like? I mean, obviously there's a lot of work that goes on, but you need a bit of downtime as well.
Yeah, well, look, to be honest, I just like getting stuck in with some of the other lads, like getting stuck in as well. I don't really drink or anything, so we just potter around and stay in the awning really, and do bits with the bikes and have a laugh with each other really.
Will you try and get out and do some more laps of the course yourself, obviously to sort of refamiliarize yourself with it?
Yeah, definitely. I'd see they've done a lot of changes now, cut down a lot of trees and stuff like that. So be good to get out, do a few laps, maybe let Brian get up to speed after the first day or two and get him to bring me around then as well and see what he thinks and get some more knowledge off him then as well and try make myself go faster come August then.
And how important is that, I suppose? Because just thinking, obviously, we have lost a lot of trees. I mean, the weather's been flipping horrific over winter. I'm surprised we've got any trees left. But I mean, how aware are you of things like that and the landmarks and what to look out for?
Yeah, so there is a few trees that you kind of use as markers and stuff like that, but to be honest, it's more to do with for me anyway, the strobing of the sun coming through the trees, where you know it's going might be a little bit brighter now with the trees, and where you might get hit with the sun, or look if we're lucky enough to have a bit of sun in August again, hopefully. Um, but just little things like that, and just see can I pick up a few more little markers for myself just to make it a little bit easier.
And because you are with the Roadhouse team, does that mean you need to look for other sponsorship or are you sorted on that front?
No, we're always looking for sponsors, like everybody, to be honest. Sponsors they're a big part of what we do, and to be honest, without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. To take some of the financial burden off of us. So no, we're always looking for more sponsors to come on board if they're willing to, and I also run my own supporters club then as well. Which not everybody has loads of money to give you or help you out, so it's a little fee, and look, you get a couple of things back from it, and there's a raffle at the end of the year, so it allows normal Joe Soap people kind of to help you out. So
And I think, yeah, you can't underestimate again, it doesn't have to be, hundreds of pounds. Everything makes it a real difference, especially when you think about all the stuff going on and fuel prices and everything that you have to contend with.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even like if someone gave you 20 quid there, like that's a lap of fuel, you know. Every little helps, to be honest, and like it doesn't have to be loads of money. Look, if all you can afford is a tenner, here, look, a tenner is a tenner that I don't have to spend out of my own pocket, to be honest. So no, we're grateful for anything that anyone could help out, to be honest.
How do people find out more about your supporters club then?
Basically just give me a message on my socials, which is just Brandon Kavanagh or BK10 Racing on Facebook, and I'm just Brandon Kavanagh, I think, as well on Instagram. So just shoot me over a message if you are interested, and sure we could go from there.
And are you okay with keeping up to date on the socials and letting people know what you've been up to?
Yeah, I'm not kind of too bad on that front, to be honest. Better than Brian anyway, to be honest. And my spelling's better. Don't tell him that though. No, I'm fairly well. I'd like to think I'm fairly good. So yeah, no, we try our best anyway. And this day and age, you have to be good at that stuff to keep everyone updated, because everyone's life is on social media nowadays. So
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Do you think like 30, 40 years ago, people could just go out and ride their bike and not worry about that at all?
I know, yeah, it would have been great, wouldn't it?
Have you got an ultimate plan then, Brandon? Obviously, you've done the mountain course. Is there a thing on your bucket list that's still left to do?
I'd love to go on and hopefully try win a Manx Grand Prix, and then eventually try get to the TT and whatever. But look, we'll take everything as it comes. The goal this year is definitely to go faster, maybe a lot faster than what I did last year. With a year under my belt, new bike that I should have loads of time on as well. We're on the Suzuki GSX-R 750 next gen, so look, I should have lots more time on that and be more comfortable heading down Bray Hill for the first time again in August, which hopefully should bode well, and we'll see how that goes.
And just thinking about those people who are going to be at the MGP for the first time themselves this year, what would be the best piece of advice you could give them at this point?
Just take your time and build in every lap. Don't do anything silly, because unfortunately it can bite you fairly fast. And look, if it does bite you, unfortunately you can get hurt, and that's your 2 weeks over. So if you build it into it, just take it in your stride, and even if you build up a mile an hour every lap, just be safe and take it as it comes.
And looking back, would you have done anything differently for your first time?
Yeah, I probably would have been faster. No, um, no, probably not, to be honest. I would like to get more time on the bike before going down Bray Hill, which, look, unfortunately, it wasn't possible with the little hiccup that we had. But not everything else, like my learning and everything was good. I didn't have to guess where I was going or anything like that. So no, I probably wouldn't change anything really.
That's all you can say, really, isn't it? It just sounds like you've, yeah, done what you wanted to do, and hopefully just keep progressing and building on that. It's been brilliant talking to you, Brandon. Best of luck with everything. When's your next race meeting that you've got coming up? Did you say?
So we're actually racing next weekend in Mondello Park at the second round of the Masters Championship. So hopefully I'll extract a finger and go a little bit better than I did in the first round.
Make room on the mantelpiece for more of those trophies. Brandon, great to speak to you, as I say. Look forward to seeing you back over here and maybe challenge you to a game of Monopoly. I mean, how can you not have played Monopoly?
I can't relax.
Don't relax in Monopoly, I tell you, it is
I know.
hardcore. We'll speak to you soon, Brandon. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, mate.
Brandon Kavanagh, a rider still really early on in his road racing journey, but obviously already showing exactly what it takes to make it in the sport. The hard work, the humility, and also that competitive edge, although not at Monopoly. Who has not played Monopoly, honestly? His message to the newcomers there was simple: take your time, build it up lap by lap, and don't do anything silly. So it's going to be really great to see what he does this year with that year of experience behind him, a new bike underneath him, and once again, the Roadhouse Macau team all around him. Do give him a follow on social media. His links are on the podcast page. Thank you very much indeed for listening to this episode of Startline. Do take some time to find the riders on social media. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you'd like to get in touch with me and be part of the podcast in the future, you can email beth@startline.im. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.